Hello there, this is Locke, and I'm playing Another World, the 20th Anniversary Edition. You might possibly remember me as the person who did the speedrun for this, and as far as I know, it's still on SDA. I think I got like about 17 minutes for the Super Nintendo version, and I did practice this a lot at the time, and my original recording, I do believe, was one of the first DVD quality recordings for SDA. This was when they were trying to phase out VHS. But it turns out my little crappy Y connectors that I needed to actually record the game lowered the quality so much that it's DVD quality, but fuzzy beyond belief. Kind of like those 30 megapixel cameras you can get that claim to take pictures at 4,000 by 3,000, but are actually just upscaled 256, and it's like, looks terrible. Well, anyway, so the PC version is significantly different than the Super Nintendo version, gameplay-wise. Because a lot of the hazards can't be easily bypassed just by their hitbox alone. And that'll come up in the first scene, so I'll wait till then. I'm just going to watch this whole intro because the graphics quality on the PC version is a lot better than the Super Nintendo version. But I am easily bored, so I'm trying not to skip this intentionally here. But I got some eggnog. Eggnog's good. Everybody loves eggnog, unless you don't like eggnog. So I guess, I'll let that sink in for a second. How do you have 91% antimatter? I mean, I'm not a physicist. I mean, maybe you can have 0.V% of something, but I don't know. I don't actually know how legit this guy's experiment theoretically could have been. Like, obviously, if, like, CERN is hit by lightning, we're not going to fuse within our planet, but other than that, all that basically science jargon at the beginning, I don't know how legit that was. Like I watched a lot of Star Trek. Zap. I watch a lot of Star Trek, and when they jargon, it makes contextual sense. Anyway, so now I'm playing, swimming straight up. Now, one of the main differences between the Super Nintendo version is when you change screens in this, it's instant. That's actually one of the advantages of the Genesis version of this game also. That blast processing makes you go faster. But because you can't just, come on, work, yes, Super Nintendo power. So you use the screens to buffer the hazards. But because the loading times are so much faster, it's very difficult. So you take 2 steps and then you buffer the jump. But because there's no loading time, it's very, very, very hard to... Oh, am I being chased right now? Or is this... Did it load earlier? Alright. So it's very hard to buffer the jump so that... so that you don't get pegged by these guys. So I'm gonna just actually take care of these guys the normal way, just because well, I don't have the SNES advantage right now. This also doesn't have the cool music from the Super Nintendo version, which I just like really, really like. Or it's all, but we don't have that. The Genesis version doesn't have that either, but the Genesis version has some really cool sound effects for like the lasers and stuff. And he goes, well, yeah, and it's like, zap. By the way, he's dead. The rest of the game's just a dream. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, by the way, for every Mike Aruba post that this video gets, you're going to get a paddling, a digital paddling, from no one, I guess. But anyway, let's shake this up. On the Super Nintendo version, it is possible to get the cage completely shaken a couple frames early if the guard is standing in the right place. But it's very hard to do because, like I said earlier, yeah, I was a little too slow. There we go. Is you can't buffer your actions during the loading screens. Go, buddy. Now, here's another key difference between this and the Super Nintendo version is I can't glitch through the door, so I'm probably gonna die. Yeah. You can't glitch through the door on the PC version. So, so I actually have to wait for Buddy to open the door. And the game froze. How about that? Okay, let's just restart. Hopefully this, it actually does just work. I love OBS for recording. So we're going to play this again from the jail. Actually, I already did the jail, so we'll continue from here. In the tasks of the game, you can jump through this wall. And I do know how to do that on the Super Nintendo. But I opted not to use that glitch because... oh wait, how many... Oh yeah, that's too many floors. I opted not to use that glitch because of a rule at the time, is that you can go through some walls, but you're not allowed to leave the game world. Because leaving the game world was just a little too beyond game logic, I guess. So, like, if you were to play Zelda 2, you could glitch to get through certain walls, but you weren't allowed to use the jump and fairy glitch, because that was just a little too excessive. Oop, my gun is out of power. Now, here's another trick from the Super Nintendo version, is you wait for the second steam vent. And the timing will be correct every time. But I was recording with shitty Y cables because I needed to see the capture. See, I didn't even try. I was just going by the sound. So I couldn't see the capture at the same time as I was playing it. Oh, I screwed that up, so now I'm going to have to actually... I'm trying to do this just from memory. So just the sound. 1, 2. And, anyway, when I was practicing it, you would do this on the second steam poof. And I guess that's just not going to work today, so we're going to have to do this normal. But because of the capture, there was a delay on it, because I was just using simple RCA cables. And because of that, I had to actually go on the sixth poof, because even though the video... Oops. Oh, now I outright forgot which way to go. Even though I practiced on the second poof. I actually had to go on the sixth poof because of the delay. And, well, there you go. So that's just a little behind the scenes thing. So now I'm going to charge up my gun. I don't believe this door can be glitched past. It might be. I don't think there's a need to recharge your gun. But I did it anyway, so. Zap. Okay, I guess I'm out of juice. Oops. There's another example of where buffering would have helped. Because there's... Oh, it froze again. Jeez. Well, there's the phone. I'm going to turn this into 2 parts.